Hey, welcome back to my series on integrity spas and my experiences with them. It's been a little bit, it's been several months since I posted a video about my experiences, and I just wanted to give everybody that is paying attention a follow-up on where I'm at with my spa. If you watched my series, I took you through my ordering process, the delivery process, getting the crane to lift the spa over the house, putting it into place, just showing you what I went through and what you need to do to, I guess, properly get your spa hooked up. I think I even showed videos on the electrical setup and everything like that. So now we are at the point where I've had the spa almost a year. And there's some trouble in Paradise. I ordered the Paradise Spa, and there is some trouble. So there was a leak in one of the spas. One of the jets that controls the water fountains had a leak in it, and I had to call Jeff and Jay for some support. When you call Jeff and Jay, they are the nicest people in the world. They are kind and they treat you with respect, and it's a nice experience talking to them. However, what I noticed was, and I will have pictures of the damage to the spa, which I sent over to them. So the spa had leaked, and it was leaking out. It was gathering water inside the spa. So water was pooling inside the spa, and it was leaking out of the drainage port that we had the electrical wiring run through. Now the electrical wiring is put through conduit, so the electrical wiring was protected. I wasn't worried about any type of electric interaction with water. That wasn't the case. But the water was leaking out of there. The water was turning green from just being exposed to the sun, and it's kind of staining the deck a little bit. So not pleasant. So I took the panels off to try to trace the root of the leak, because Jeff and Jay wanted to see pictures of the leak. They said normally there's a barrel joint connector at some of the motors that can come loose during shipping, and maybe those things were loose and needed to be tightened. Now I did check that when the spa was first delivered, and all of those connections were tight. So but I did take the panels off the spa, and I did check those connections, but right away I saw, and you'll see in the pictures I'm about to show you, right away I saw where the leak was coming from. It was coming from when you go into the spa and you go all the way up to the top where the knob that turns on and off the fountains. There was a leak at the very top of that, and the water was leaking down from that knob, and it was leaking down along the tubes. It was getting onto the metal clamps. Each tube that is connected is supposed to be glued and barbed and clamped. So barbed means that the connection for the tube has these, they're almost like prongs on it, so the tube can go up, but it can't come back off. The prongs hold it and stop it from sliding back down. So that's the barbed part of it. So the tubes go over those barbs, they go on one way, but they really have a hard time coming off the other way. So that's the barbed aspect of it. They do, when you glue them before putting them over those connectors, the glue does provide extra protection. So they're glued and barbed. And then there's those metal clamps that when you turn the screw, the clamp tightens over the hose to provide a third layer of protection. So that's how the tubes are connected underneath your spa. When the water ran down and ran over those metal connectors, they rusted the connectors on it. So I had a spa that had rusty water leaking down the tubes. It had rusted the connectors to the point where the screws would no longer turn. I'm sure the thing would just fall apart in time and wasn't providing much efficacy in terms of the connections. So those were issues. So I sent the pictures to Jeff and Jay. I called them. I called Jeff, I think it was. I may get the names wrong because they're very close. But I called Jeff, and Jeff said, "Hey, Jay handles that. You got to talk to Jay." Okay, so Jay talked me through the process to fix my hot tub. I thought that was interesting. Well, the first thing, and let me go back. When Jay thought it might have been the barrel connectors needed to be tightened, and he asked me to check that, he did follow up and proactively called me to say, "Hey, was that the issue? Were you able to tighten the barrel connectors, and did that fix it?" It was nice to get that courtesy call from Integrity Spas. I told him I had not looked under the spa yet. I was going to do it over the weekend, which was Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend, when I did look under the spa, I saw that it was not the barrel connectors. It was something bigger. Took pictures of it, sent it to them, and then that's when I got the call. That's when I called them, and they said, "Hey, we're going to talk you through the repair on this." Okay, that's interesting to me because me personally, I own tools. I don't mind fixing things. I don't mind installing things. I've done my own plumbing. I've put my own toilets in my house. I've put bidets on my toilets in the house. So I don't mind plumbing. I don't mind working with valves and gaskets and O-rings and things like that. But if you don't feel comfortable doing your own repairs and getting that close and personal with your spa in terms of the repair and maintenance on it, Integrity Spas might not be for you. On the website it says that it's covered, you know, it's warranted, but when I spoke to Jay about it, he said, well, the stuff on the underneath the spa inside the panels we warrant, but the stuff on the outside of the panels we don't warrant. So he wanted to see, by working with me on the phone, if we could fix the spa from the outside with his help over the phone. I guess that's commonplace. I guess all service companies are going to try to troubleshoot things with you on the phone first before they dispatch anybody. Okay. We took the valve apart. Well, we shut the spa off at the breaker. We pulled the handle off the top of the valve, and then we pulled the valve up. And, you know, Jeff said, "Hey, are there any rubber O-rings that are protecting, you know, and helping to provide leak stoppage?" And where he said that the O-rings should be, there weren't any. Then there was an air control valve next to the fountain control valve. So at first I took the air control valve off, and he said those really don't need the O-rings because no water gets into those. They just manage air. So they typically have O-rings on them just as a operating procedure point, but they don't need them. So I basically robbed the rubber O-rings from the air control valve and was able to put them onto the water fountain water control valve. I got some grease, and I was able to, I greased up the O-rings so that they'd be a little more effective and have a more lasting life cycle inside the valve itself. Inserted them in, and after 2 or 3 tries of doing things, you know, was able to finally fix the leak. There was a rubber O-ring at the bottom that I had to reinstall. There was a rubber O-ring at the nipple of the valve that I had to install, and there was a rubber O-ring over the threading where the valve screws down to the top of the hot tub. Checked all 3 of those, greased all 3 of those, actually applied my own Teflon tape to the threading, and finally got the problem solved. So that brings me to a point. I don't mind learning about my hot tub. I don't mind doing my own repairs. It's going to make me that much better at maintaining and servicing the hot tub and having it over the years. But if you don't feel you're capable of doing that, you could be in, picking Integrity Spas might not be the spa for you, or at least when you're shopping at local stores, ask questions like that. Ask if they troubleshoot and expect you to do some repairs over the phone, or if they send a person out, no questions asked, to fix anything during the warranty period. Okay. If the problem was deeper than what I had, then I'm curious to see how Integrity would have handled it. I did mention that I wasn't happy that the clamps were rusting on the inside. Their response was, that's commonplace for hot tubs, and I shouldn't be too worried about it because of how the hot tub is assembled. So not the answer I was hoping for. It's more of a trivial point, but it's not exactly a perfect spa right now. It's got the rusted clamps on the inside, which I might go in and fix and maybe take those clamps off if I can. Maybe even figure out a way to install new ones. But you'll see in the pictures, it's just not perfect. The second thing that is an issue is, since the day I took the delivery of the spa, I noted a puncture in the spa cover, and I noted some deep scarring and scraping on one of the panels of the spa, which looked like it was damaged in transit. Many times I've been told that they have it in stock and they're going to ship it right away, and I still don't have it. 2 weeks ago, I was told, it was Labor Day weekend, I was told that they'll get me tracking numbers that week. They'll ship it that week and get me tracking numbers. That week came and went, no tracking numbers. When I spoke with them and walked through the repairs, I told them I still don't have the replacement items from when I originally took the spa. And they said, oh yeah, this is in stock. I don't know why it's not shipping. We should get your tracking numbers right away. That was a week ago. I still don't have the tracking numbers. I still don't have the replacement skin and the replacement panel from what was damaged when I originally took took ownership of it. So, that's the spa is usable. But I didn't receive a perfectly good sound product, and I did note it on the form. They said they would take care of it, and they're not. They said they'd get me tracking numbers, and they didn't. So I'm going to keep pursuing it. But if you order from Integrity Spas and have a deeper issue, I don't know how well they're going to take care of that. I don't know how responsive they're going to be. Maybe they figure my issue's not that important, and treating it like an emergency room, like this person's going to live, we'll leave him by the side and we'll take care of the more urgent issues. I don't know. I just feel like they've promised me tracking numbers. They haven't delivered on it. They said things were in stock. They'd ship it right away. I'm not getting it. And I'm still waiting, and I'm still following up. But if I were to score that, I'd say that's below passing, because they're making promises that they're not keeping. And these are the owners of the company that are making promises that they're not delivering on. So does that sit well with me? No. Am I still happy that I bought the spa? Yes. But I'm seeing kinks in the armor, right? I'm seeing things where they made promises that they're not delivering on, and I'd rather have them say to me, we're not going to send it to you, okay? At least then I know where I stand. If they said, we don't feel like that's enough of a thing for us to spend time on, then at least I know where I stand and I can take the next step. But to continue to say, we'll send it to you, we're going to get it to you, it's in stock, and it's going to ship this week, and have nothing shipped, is, to me, the name of the company's Integrity Spas. Let's operate with some integrity, and let's do what we say we're going to do, and we'll all be better off. So anyway, those are the two things that I wanted to bring to your attention. Just know that if you do buy from Integrity Spas, they'll help you, and Jeff and Jay try to help you wherever, whenever they can, but you might be on your own for a lot of the repairs, okay? So I don't know if that helps you. I don't know if that makes you more hesitant to buy. I don't know if it's still worth the risk. The price for the spas have gone up, but that's been my experience in the last year. And if it was a more severe issue, I don't know how Integrity would react. I can just tell you how they're reacting to the issues that I've had. The one repair was I have to fix it, and the other issues were it's on its way, the check's in the mail, but it seems to be never coming. So I'm going to keep pursuing it, but I wanted to bring this to your attention because I was very, very high on them when I first ordered the stuff. It was the glow of a new shiny toy. And I still like my spa a lot, but there's enough there that's cause for concern, cause for pause, and cause to say, what happens if I do order from them and I have a more severe issue? How well will they take care of it? Anyway, I'm going to sign off on that. Please leave comments. I will continue to pursue the couple of issues I have with the panel and with the skin, and I'll let you know how that gets resolved. Okay? Jeff and Jay did send me a replacement valve, which I did receive for that valve that was faulty, that caused the internal rusting on my spa. So that is nice that they sent that. So they sent that, but they did not send the replacement stuff from my original order. So anyway, take that for what you will. Good luck to you in your spa journey. Good luck to you in your decisions to select Integrity. I thought I'd pass that on to you. Thank you.